Thank you, Chairman Jackson. Just a couple project updates for you guys. First item on the agenda is the Doty Tennis Courts. We started construction on the tennis courts last Monday, June 29th. We currently have two courts closed. When we finish the site work for that, they'll move to the next set of courts. However, when we do get to that point, I just want to make y'all aware that they will have to close the remaining four courts, and that is because they are going to use two courts to access the other two to cause less damage to the park itself. So I did want to make you aware of that. And then construction for this project is expected to take 4 months to totally complete. The second project is the Somerville Skate Park. We held our public meeting last Tuesday, June 30th. A representative from Fifth Pocket Park was present and he led the meeting. We had 29 people attend. It was a very positive meeting, and we expect the design phase for this to end around October. And then the last project is our Somerville Ashley River Preserve. As you recall, one picture didn't. I don't know what happened either. That's okay. We originally planned to repair the existing dock that was out there. However, once the contractor removed the top decking, it became clear that we were going to have to replace it. We did receive the nationwide permit last week, and we are just now waiting on the permit from DES so before that can move forward. In the meantime, the contractor has started working on the new fishing pier. In that first picture there, you'll see those are the pilings leading out to the new fishing pier. The interior path, which is now that big, large picture there, that is actually going to get paved starting tomorrow. So excited for that work to continue. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those, but that was everything that I had for you guys this evening. The interior path from Water's Edge Drive coming in, connecting to the boardwalks. I believe it's 10 feet. Yeah. 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 All right. That was everything. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. 3 minutes. All done. That's perfectly acceptable, Chairman. You're working. I was gonna take a kick on you.
Pretty much. I'll call the Planning and Development Committee meeting to order. Seats very tall.
All right.
Jesse.
Yes, sir. As you can see, items A and B on the agenda have again been requested by the applicant to be postponed. They're finalizing their contract negotiations and didn't want to move forward until those were all finalized.
Yep.
So,
And for item C, I will be recusing myself from any discussion on it. So
I guess if you can just make the motion to postpone those first two so that they're officially
okay.
postponed, and then
I'll make a motion to postpone the first two,
I'll second.
and I'll make.
And no other,
Because there's no agenda. I mean, there's.
yeah, and I guess I believe item C is if y'all are going to move that to Finance Committee, is that correct?
Yeah. We'll talk about that in the Finance Committee's discussion about third day.
Okay, and we'll go ahead and vote on A and B. All in favor of postponement? Say aye. Aye. Sorry. Now look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. Thanks, Jesse.
starts at 6.
No, that's the pre-match. They kick it to 8. Spain just beat Belgium.
I know, 91 minutes. That's all.
All right, we call the public safety meeting to order. And
We had the discussion of proposed amendments to current town noise ordinance. Chief, can you just tell us a little bit about what you had said in your email?
There was a revision that was made by Councilwoman Johnson. I didn't have any issues with the proposal other than I don't believe it should still be 11 PM. But that'll be left up to you all. As far as the enforcement and all the definitions and everything like that, I thought it was perfectly fine. In fact, we've been enforcing the noise ordinance just right here on Richardson in the last few days, just to try to bring education to some people. They're not aware there's even a noise ordinance in the town of Somerville.
Okay. Well, I would move that we would move this to full council for voter discussion. Yeah, you have to second it. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take aye. All right.
Oh.
Okay, I move for adjournment. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Okay. Yes. Well, as they're walking up here, we'll go ahead and open up, to save 30 seconds. Open up the meeting for Public Works and Committee on Water Supply.
Nice job, nice job.
Yeah.
Madam Chairwoman.
All right.
All right, the only item on tonight's agenda is discussion of DOT's requirement to take over ownership from DOT, the portions of Cypress Street, South Oak Street, South Walnut Street, South Palmetto Street, South Laurel Street, and South Pine Street, all streets intersecting with West Richardson Avenue and the railroad tracks in association with takeover of West Richardson Avenue from DOT.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend to town staff to tell DOT that we do not want to take over those side streets. And if the staff could report on that, bring DOT's answer back at the August Public Works Committee meeting.
Okay,
I'll second that. So we won't have this on the council agenda for Thursday night.
Well, yeah, that's right. We would tell them that we don't want to do that.
I would like to see that amend that motion to send it to council on Thursday night, because I think hearing from council as a whole would be better as well.
Okay. And I would second that. For more discussion.
I don't have any
I'm
other discussion. I agree with you. I don't think we need those roads at all, but I think hearing from full council would.
Okay, so we're voting on the amended.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all in favor of the amended.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, ayes have it. Now do we have to vote on the original? Okay, so all in favor of the original motion made by as amended.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, ayes have it. Oh,
I would move
that's-
we adjourn.
Second, all in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, Russ, let's see.
Let's see that.
I'm under a lot of pressure to make this,
equally as efficient by that.
Good evening. I will call the Finance Committee meeting to order and turn it over to you, Ms. Rhonda.
All right, you have before you the summary of the June 2026 year-end financials. I will say I tried to get as much into this report to have it complete as I could, but there are a lot of accruals that will have to take place in this, but we'll go over where we are. For the current period for the month, we took in revenue of just over $10 million and year to date of just under 51 million, a little over 2 million over what we budgeted. So we're in good shape on that. We'll go over some of those details. Revenues, we spent a little more than we budgeted. We're just at 53 million. We budgeted right at just under 52 million. And you remember some of that was the bonuses that we approved back in the fall of a little over $1 million. Some things are a little bit out of our control, and we'll get into some of the details later when we get some more details for the year, but fuel and some of those things are kind of out of our control. So when we look at the bottom line, we have spent $1.4 million more than our revenue. We budgeted to spend 2 million more than our revenue as a use of fund balance. The franchise fee from Dominion is not included in this, and that's roughly $2 million that will go into the general fund. So the bottom line is we will have basically made 600,000 for the year. Our revenue will have exceeded our expenses by that. So we will have come out a little bit ahead. I was hoping we would be closer to 2 million, but 600 is good. That's certainly, we will have used some of fund balance to, to fund capital and some of those kind of things, but it's a good start. It's better than where I kind of maybe thought we might end up. So
So our revenues without the transfer into fund balance covered all of our expenses plus 600,000. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Roughly, I mean, round
yeah.
numbers. Okay. Very good.
So, revenues and detail, property taxes, we were about 3% over what we budgeted. We had just over 600,000 over our what we collected for year to date for property taxes, which I think is a pretty good estimate. And our fees and permits, we have 3 categories, which I've highlighted: building licenses, the licensed insurance, and building permits, which certainly exceeded our budgeted total, which certainly that's really what helped us a lot. Franchise fees, we're going to be right on target once that's booked. So, so those are the main items. The 2 property taxes and those 3 items are really what stabilized our year. Municipal courts, year to date, we're at 300,000, which is just a little bit less than what we budgeted. State revenue, we're at 5 million year to date, which is a little bit less than what we budgeted in that area. I think I tracked the Charleston County down a little bit in our budget from what it was trending. Parks and Rec.
Can I ask you a question on that? Is on the stormwater review fees at 269%, is that meant to be that way? Show as that?
Well, we collected over double. So those are some of the things that are dependent on growth and when certain projects come to our planning and engineering departments for review. So that ended up that way. 269% in that category is certainly nothing to sneeze at, but that's 273,000. And that certainly does help. Parks and Rec and special events, we collected 67,000 for the month. Year to date, 662. We're over in our budgeted revenue by just about 164,000. Our miscellaneous revenue, We collected about 754,000, year to date 3.4. So we're a little bit over in that category, but that is primarily due to, interest income. And what I usually do is I include all the interest income for the year, and then I will allocate a portion of that to the different funds based on the cash balance for the year. So that will come down, a little bit. Any questions on the revenue items? Okay, next is impact fees. We collected about 575,000 in impact fees across the residential and commercial and across all three categories for the month. Our year to date is 3.7 million in impact fees. We have expended just under 1.8 in impact fees, so we have an excess of right at 2 million. Again, this is category that our first payment for the installment purchase revenue bond is coming from impact fees. Questions on that? Your next report is hospitality and accommodations. We collected 6.2 million this year in hospitality. That is about 4% over where we budgeted at 6 million. We had a couple other revenue items for the year to bring our total revenue just under 6.5 million. Our expenses, including our transfer to the general fund, is 5.8 million with an excess for the year of 627,000. Local accommodations, just under 500,000 for the year. And we expended right at 110. So 339,000 is our excess in that particular fund. Any questions regarding those? And lastly, the stormwater fund. We collected $2.6 million in stormwater fees and expended 2.4. So we had a net revenue over expenses of 158,000, which is more than our deficit position of 163 that we had originally budgeted for the year. Any questions, comments?
Sounds good. All right, council members. Thank you, Ms. Rhonda.
Item B, authorization to issue a purchase order to Dominion Energy in the amount of $269,853 for streetlights on Maple Street, amount to be funded from the TIF and reimbursement requested from county transportation funding, the request from administration and public works departments.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Just a little background, please, Scott.
Yeah, so as a part of the Maple Street Extension project, we designed and installed conduit for streetlights along the new section, but we did not budget for the streetlights and their installation themselves.
Okay.
So this would pay for the installation and purchase of those streetlights.
And I will add that we participated when the Nexton Parkway interchange and Maple Street extension from the interstate came in street lighting. So it would oddly terminate at a random place and not continue through the length of the project.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just north of Wassamasaw. Yeah.
Question about the funding for this, some of it coming from the TIF and the other county transportation funding. Do we know how much is coming from each?
I think we are intending to use all TIF, correct? Because I'm not sure how much, if any, of the county fund is going to be left.
Yeah, we'll use TIF if the county cannot fund.
Right.
So we've already got a request out
Yeah.
to, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And it is, I will say it's unlikely that the county will have the funds left over in the project after we work on the Blythe construction claim. So these funds will most likely come out of the Midtown TIF.
All right, we have a motion and a second for approval. Any other discussion? As we vote, I've been requested to make sure we raise our hands and clearly state aye or nay. So those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Awesome.
Item C, authorization to issue a purchase order in the amount of $1,337,074.37 to Dominion Energy for the town's share of underground utility work associated with the Maple Street construction project. Funds to come from Midtown TIF, request from administration and public works departments.
I'll make the motion. You approve that.
A second.
All right, motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Just please. We're spending $1.3 million. I think we can get a little explanation.
So again, we did not budget for these funds in the original Maple Street Extension project budget. We made a change at some point after we got all the design work done, or at some point in the project. And then it was the town's desire to underground the utilities on that stretch to match that Berkeley County side. And unfortunately, when we made that decision, we did not budget for those funds, and we need to now pay Dominion. This is our half of the expense. The total expense was $2.6 million. And so this is our half of that per our agreement that we have with them. And we've been told by our public safety complex partners that they were told that Dominion was not going to continue forward with our undergrounding application at that site until we paid this debt. So again, this is the same debt that I've mentioned to y'all multiple times, along with the Blythe claim. We knew at some point this day would come, and here it is now. So we have the funds in the Midtown TIF to be able to take care of this, so that we can ensure that the public safety complex continues as quickly as it can, despite the state permitting delays that we're experiencing right now. So
Okay, just one question.
Yeah.
So we have enough money in the tip for both
Yeah.
A, B, and C.
yes, we do. Yes.
Do we have anything left over?
We will have we will have lots left over.
Okay.
And as you'll recall, those TIF funds are a part of the funding formula for the public safety complex as
Yeah.
well. So but we can absorb that in that. And oh, by the way, we need to spend these funds, some of these funds out of the Midtown TIF anyway. So yeah. And this is an eligible expense for that project.
And that TIF is performing pretty well, I assume.
That TIF is doing really well.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Thanks to the Sawmill Center development. That place is going gangbusters.
And all this was put together back 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago.
When did the Maple Street Extension
Yeah,
project start,
I
Bonnie?
think it
Do you
started like-
recall? Anybody remember?
No, but
2021 is some of the dates on the original.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would say that was a big miss on our part.
the original
Think about
undergrounding
these.
agreement, the oldest one that I've seen the oldest one I've seen was 2021.
Okay.
And well, the oldest one I've seen was 2021. So.
Right.
Good enough.
Both of these items would have been eligible for transportation money if they didn't include it.
Yeah,
That is very-
for sure.
It
Yeah.
is. But here we are. Let's
Which
get it.
we didn't know we were gonna have at that time.
Right.
Because the TIF was gonna pay for everything.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it couldn't.
There's been a lot of moving parts for this project.
Amen. But I think we've learned a valuable lesson. All right, council members, any other discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please raise your hand and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Item D, authorization for the town administrator to execute a contract for the purchase of 168 Butler Street. The contract is contingent on receiving approval of funds from Charleston County's Greenbelt program. The request is from the Parks and Recreation Department.
I'll make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
All right, motion and a second to approve. Councilman Waring, do you want some background?
Yeah.
Why not?
I do.
Yes. Miss Evans.
This parcel is adjacent to Gahagan Park, right off of Butler Street. It came up for sale. It's in Charleston County. The town has approximately like 250,000 allocated in Charleston County Greenbelt funds. There's pretty limited use for us. However, this would be a great opportunity. Charleston County will vote in November for Greenbelt projects. So this contract would be dependent upon them giving us the funds, but it would pay 100% of the property. There is a dilapidated trailer on that property, so our expense comes in and they won't pay to clear that off. So our expense is to clear that property and whatever use we want to use from that point forward.
We're feeling pretty good about the Greenbelt funds. I think it'd be a great piece of property for us to own, and
Yes, I already was approved. You have to pre-apply. Was already approved to apply. So I'm working through the application now. But the staff feel very, confident that it would be approved.
Very good.
Okay.
Richard, we use that mobile home for fire practice?
I think it's already been done back there on Butler Street one time before, not practice, but the real thing.
Oh, it takes a few minutes.
Right.
All right, any other discussion? We have a motion and a second to approve. Please signify by raising your hand. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Real quickly, I'll go over just a couple of things. Y'all probably, like I have, received a couple of emails today, angry or even over the weekend, angry and upset that the town did not properly celebrate or commemorate Independence Day with no sort of celebration or any sort of decorations. I think some of that was caused because the flags that are now out around Hutchinson Square had not been put out prior to the holiday weekend. That is something that one of our local civic clubs does, and the gentleman who usually does that has been dealing with some family issues. But we will make sure that we are properly flagged for all of the appropriate days going forward. So it's unfortunate, though, that folks did not join the thousands of other residents from around the area at the fireworks on Saturday night. So we're going to have to talk to Mikowski and Rigel about how to step up those games. I'm just kidding. Municipal Association's annual meeting is next week. You should have your hotel reservations and information from the clerk tomorrow. I'll tell you that I will, because I don't know if I'll get to see you before then or not. I will not be in attendance on Friday, but I will be there Thursday and on Saturday. So there you go. Any questions about anything I've discussed or haven't discussed?
Nope. Thank you for
Okay.
chasing down the flags.
Yes.
It's great.
I'm gonna call it the great flag flap of 2026. How about
Amen.
that?
Thank you very much.
Next is review of the draft agenda for the July 9th council meeting as included in the July 6th standing committee agenda packet, and you have those in front of you there.
I would just say, I don't see the draft noise ordinance on here for this week. And then the latest noise ordinance revisions that y'all have in your email, it does take into account removing the time frame that Chief was just speaking about as well. So I'll send that back out tonight so y'all can review that. But it does have that removed, and then if we could add that on here.
And that was moved forward by committee to full council, so it'll be on there.
Yeah.
The other item I would say is item 2C from our discussion was to be discussed at the agenda review time. Correct? On the Planning and Development Committee, item 2C was forwarded to be discussed during the agenda review time.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
I know you're
Yeah,
recusing
recuse
yourself.
myself from that item.
Yes, sir. Does somebody want to make a motion that we send that to full council? Is that what's needed here?
Yes, that's the
Just send it to full
the
council.
Pratt annexation on
Since
item
there was not a
2C on
quorum.
I'll
927 Central Avenue.
make the motion that we send to full council.
All right.
The discussion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to send item 2C to full council for discussion on Thursday. Any discussion? We acknowledge Councilman Waring's recusal. All those in favor say aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. Mayor, can we, if item 4A is, if everyone is not present on Thursday, can we move that to Public Works Committee for August if we don't have everyone present?
The committee made a motion to move it to full council for discussion. If you want to make that motion at that discussion, you are welcome to.
Okay.
All right, no executive session.
Move we adjourn?
Second.
All right, motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by raising your hands and saying aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. Let the record reflect we made it in.